Welcome back. Hi, everybody. This is our second episode. So if you haven't watched the first one, go watch the first one because there's 2 total. Okay.
You have to watch both.
Yes, watch both. Oh, wait, you don't want to know your episode. Okay, anyways, Malfoy's going to catch up. But basically what we're talking about today is college.
Woo! So at the beginning of each episode, we start with a question.
Yes.
So you know about what this episode is about. So today's episode, the big question is, what made college worth it?
That's a very good question.
So why did you guys
Still thinking about it.
why did you go to college?
Well, I don't know if we've said this before, but we're from Cal State Fullerton.
Go Titans.
Go Titans.
They are.
Malfoy, you are from?
Mount Sac.
Yes. Okay, perfect. Now that that's out of the way.
Go Mount Sac.
What was the question?
Why did you go to college? Or why are you in college?
What made college worth it?
No, that's a big question that we're going to
That's
answer.
the big one.
Yeah.
But we're starting with little questions right now.
Yeah.
So why are you in college?
Why are you in college?
Because I like learning. I really do. I'm a big nerd, so whenever I always complain when I'm in classes because I'm always tired. But the second the semester is over, it's like I can't wait for the next semester to start.
Oh,
Really?
wow.
Oh.
I love
Got a
school.
little nerd here.
Yeah.
I love school.
A rare one.
A rare.
Should I go next?
You can go next.
I feel like you don't really have a choice nowadays. Like you have to go to
Hot
college.
take.
Like back in the 70s, they're like, oh, if you're educated, you go to college. And, we're in America. They're like, if you're educated, you go to college. But like now, like it's like high school. It feels like it's like high school. Like you have
That's
to go.
the
You don't have a
next step,
choice. Yeah. If you like want to go beyond, then you get your master's. And so yeah, I went to college because
You had to go?
You just feel like you have to.
Oh, okay.
In order to get a job. Like, you know, that's what they tell you. Like, once upon a time. Like, instead of like, you're going to marry a prince. No, like, you're going to go to high school, and then you're going to go to Harvard, and then you're going to get a job.
Oh, fun.
And because you went to college, you will get a job.
You will get a job.
And it
That's what they promise you. Is that true?
Yeah.
Who knows?
That's why I went to college. And to
Okay.
make my parents proud.
Okay. I feel like I was on the same boat. Like, you had to go to college, but I honestly didn't even know if I wanted to go to college. I didn't even know if, like, college was for me. Yeah, I was like, so I just did it because I'm like, I don't know if this is for me, but because everyone's telling me to go, I guess I'll go. Yeah.
I didn't want to go to college. I feel like I watched too much white television and was like, I want to take a year off and go travel the world. So I didn't want to go, but I was in the AVID program. Shout out to AVID. And they already helped me with my college applications. And I was like, ugh, to do that again.
Did you tour the colleges and stare at them like a zoo?
I did. I did stare at them like a zoo, but even then they weren't giving. But no, I ended up going because I just honestly out of pure laziness, because I was like, ugh, to do the college application process again, like I already got in.
Yeah.
Like, let me just go. And then also I feel like my dad, my whole life was like, you gotta go to college, and you're like, okay, like I'm gonna go to college. So
Yeah.
it was like to make my parents proud as well.
What did you guys study, or what are you studying, and how did you get there? How did you decide on it?
I was undeclared. Like I said, I didn't want to go to college, so I was undeclared for a bit. I watched a lot of crime stuff and like crime docuseries and stuff like that. So I became a criminal justice major at some point. I double majored, so I double majored in criminal justice and communications with a concentration in public relations. It sounds so loud.
Did you want to be a cop?
So fancy.
I wanted to be a detective.
Oh.
Yeah, girl. I know. Whenever I say like, oh, I double majored, I sound so fancy. But I honestly, I feel like I didn't grow up with seeing anybody in my family with a career. So I just didn't know what to do. I didn't even know if I wanted to go to college. I just never really had that example set for me. And then I didn't have peers around that. I'm an only child, so I was just kind of setting the path for myself. But yeah, I ended up doing that. I always knew I liked like media and television, love watching movies, love being able to like story tell, and I would go on rants on social media and stuff like that. So I know I wanted to do that, but I had like social anxiety and stage fright. So I was like, oh, I can't do that. But I was like, oh, might as well go for it. So I ended up double majoring and declaring it almost like the last year before I graduated. I actually extended a year, and I did my bachelor's in 5 years so that I can also do communications.
Okay.
What about you?
So yeah, I didn't even know if I wanted to go to college, and I'm like, oh, you have to pick a degree. That's a thing. And at the time in high school, I was like in theater. I was a vice president of theater.
Ooh, we got VP in the house.
Yeah, VP, Kamala Harris. Shout out. I'm just kidding. Yeah, so I was like, I guess I'll continue doing theater. And I only did it for one semester because I was like, no, okay. My first day, I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing here, and I'm studying a major that I'm not even passionate about. They put all the theater kids in the auditorium because they were gonna do like a presentation or something. I sat all the way in the back, and I remember I cried. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing here. Like,
why?
Because I didn't know what I'm doing there. And then like, I
you
just
love
like
theater.
That's the thing. I was like, wait, but do I like it? Do I want to do this as a career? I was so conflicted with my emotions that like I think the first 2 days I was just crying. And then I overheard someone saying cinema. It wasn't even, I think it was cinema and television. Yeah, at the time that's what it was. And then I was like, wait, do I want to do that? And I kind of looked into it, but I just dedicated my first semester to do, just to see if like, do I see myself doing this for the rest of my life? And then I think a professor was like, he said something that's like, if your favorite day is when a show wraps up, maybe you don't feel like this is what you should be doing. And I forgot why he said that, but he was like telling a story, and I was like, wait, I feel that way. And then the second semester of my first year, I switched majors to cinema and television. And yeah, that's the story.
And then you did fall in love with it, right?
Yeah, I fell in love with it.
Okay.
Yeah, like I think I took it's like CTVA 100, like the introduction. And I'm like, oh my God, wait, this is what I want to do. Yeah.
Well, like you, I was a theater kid. I wanted to major in musical theater. My parents were like, no, you're not going to go to college to study musical theater. You're going to be a lawyer or a doctor. And so I just knew growing up, like, I didn't know what I wanted to do. And so I was like, I just know I want to make a difference. I thought the only way to make a difference was to be the first Latina president. And so I was all like, I was working in politics.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Yeah, I was, somebody recommended to do all my GEs first. And so I spent my first 2 years doing my GEs. Best thing I ever did, because then once I found my major through taking those GEs, I took all the fun classes my last 2 years of college. And so because of those GEs, I took a class called Mass Media and Ethnic Groups. I took communications because I kind of like marketing. So that's how I started at Cal State Fullerton.
So were you already declared as like political once you went into Cal State?
Political science?
No, I went into communications like originally because I liked marketing and I liked politics. So I figured I'd do like marketing and politics without studying a poli-sci in Orange County is interesting. I barely made it through my one political science class. But so I did that, but I still like was so like, I miss theater, like I want to perform, but I just like, I couldn't do it. And I took this class called Mass Media and Ethnic Groups that taught me that you can do activism in entertainment, which I've always loved. I love performing. We had a speaker that like was like an educational counselor on Maya and Miguel, which was like one of the first times I ever felt represented in TV. And so I was like, wait, that's a job to like kind of like give advice and make a difference in entertainment. And so I was an entertainment and tourism major, whatever that even is.
I always wondered that too. Like, what does that mean?
Yeah, like even, like I was 2 years that major, and I'd never never even found out what that was. But I decided to minor in CTVA, which was film. I wanted to be a writer. After taking that class, I was inspired, and so I was a I changed my major to visual communications because I fell in love with graphic design. So I was a visual communications major and a CTVA minor, and I also minored in Spanish because I feel like I needed to
polish up.
Polish it up. Sorry, long story.
I know, I'm just holding my thought because I like the thing you mentioned, like the whole poli science industry. Why? I'm confused.
Wait, what? Maybe
there's a lot of like, I mean,
to talk about
we won't
that.
get too into it, but like I was taking a political science class November of 2016, and just like having people in your class say just hurtful, like defending hurtful things is just an awful enough experience for me to be like, I'm not majoring in this.
Mafet, how did you? What are you studying currently, and how did you get there?
Oh, good Lord. I mean, if I'm being official, I am majoring in animation, art history, and studio arts. Ooh. I'm doing a triple major, which is the fancy way of saying I couldn't pick one, so I just decided to go for it. And then I'm in 7th year in community college.
But because you're doing so much, you go, girl.
You're big brained.
Big brained.
Thank you.
I hear you on indecisiveness. That's how I double majored.
There you go. No, that's when like I've changed majors through my life way too much. Like when I was younger, I wanted to be, I think a ballerina. Never took ballet because my parents wouldn't let me. So like, and Caroline can testify to this. I have zero coordination, so I don't know how that was gonna work out. And then switch over to psychology, which was just one of the signs that I should have gone to therapy sooner. And then I changed to graphic design. And I was like, this is a commercial. I'm like, if you want to hear the full story, you can go back to the first episode and listen to it. But short version, I liked it, like the creative side of it. It was a little too commercial for me. And my professor was like, why don't you try animation? I'm like, that's a thing. Okay. First time I took was with Hector Rivas. Shout out to Hector. If this happens to come across you, you're the best. He's a Disney alumni. He's Latino too. If I remember properly, he was from El Salvador. And just, like all the hustle, he got into Disney somehow. And he actually worked on Hercules, which is one of my favorite Disney movies.
Yeah.
And just, he was like, hey, like if you really, like I think you have potential for it. Mount Sac has the Studio 13, which kind of like a little in-house studio. He's like, you should apply. I'm like, fortunately, it conflicts with my work schedule, so I couldn't make it. So that's also why I jumped to Revives. It was a good opportunity to kind of do that kind of stuff I wanted to do anyway. Yeah. But it was like, one, I love school. I love learning. My parents call me La Eterna Estudiante. We'll see how that works out in the future. I would love to do a master's or even a PhD at some point, but it gets expensive.
Did you feel like you had to go to college?
It was always what was expected, not too much like from the pressure of my parents, but it was just like the logical pathway that you're supposed to go to. As you know, you go to school, you go to college, and you figure it out. And both my parents went to college too. I feel like I was more like the rebel of the family for choosing more towards arts. Yeah. Especially back home, there's that, te vas a morir de hambre, que no vas a llegar a ningún lado. And I was like, I'm actually wanted to do it myself and figure it out. So we're just like, okay. Figure it out. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it, I guess.
Yeah. So your parents went to college?
Yeah. Wow. Both my parents are biologists.
Did your guys' parents go to college?
No.
I did want to ask that, like, you guys are the older sisters, and then you're an only child. How did you like figure out like, oh, I have to do this for college?
My brother actually graduated. My younger brother graduated college at 18. Oh. 18 years old. Luckily, I had my ceremony one week before his.
I remember that.
Yeah, so it wasn't kind of like I'm the first one.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. My dad went to college, got his master's at Georgetown. My mom didn't get to go to college, but like my dad kind of guided us through that, luckily. And then my brother is like really smart guy. And so he got to skip high school and go to like this special program at Cal State LA. Yeah, where
big nerd alert.
So if you pass the ACT out of middle school, you skip high school, and he just goes to college for 5 years.
Wow. What?
So, which is why
ACT
prodigy with you.
it's like the SAT kind of.
I thought it was a toothpaste brand.
ACT. I think it is too, but yeah. So it was kind of like we were going to college at the same time. Never really
wow,
felt like
that's crazy.
But I'm so glad I graduated a week before, because him graduating before
I
me
did it
would have been.
You would have never heard the end of it, 100%.
But now he's getting his PhD.
Wow.
I haven't gotten my master's yet. Yeah, what about you?
For me, it's different because, I mean, I'm the older sister, so I'm always expected to put up the, I forgot the word in English.
Say it in Spanish.
Yeah, we're bilingual.
Yeah, we're bilingual. We know.
And now I blanked out in Spanish.
Right, struggle.
Oh.
You have the responsibility of as an adult, as an elder.
Wait, I'm trying to. My brain is like malfunctioning. A poner el mejor ejemplo. So I was always supposed to like guide him, and I mean, I wanted to go to college regardless, but for me it was like figuring out how college works here, and I still don't know. Just like why I'm freaked out about like I want to transfer, I just don't know how that's gonna come out. Gonna have to figure that out as it goes. But thankfully, my cousin and I are the same age. He's just a couple months older than I, and he was starting at Mount SAC the same time I did. He actually he was going to school for medicine, so you can figure that gets fun at family reunions. And he was doing the paperwork. Like I literally started a class, I think, like the week after I moved here to the U.S. I got here. I have the next day to go do like the tests and the stuff you have to do at Mount SAC to get in. My aunt helped me with like the application for the community college stuff, and I'm trying to do that.
Wow. Okay.
You guys, what was it like?
Me, I'm the youngest of three. There's three of us. I'm the youngest, and I think you asked the first question, like, how did we even get to college? Like, it was expected of us, and me being like, I don't even know if college is for me. I was like, maybe I should go to community college, but because all my brother and sister went to Cal State Fullerton first, like right out of high school. Yeah, I was like, I guess I gotta go to Cal State Fullerton. And then I did want to go to community college, but my parents, I think they don't know what community college is and what university is. Someone put in their head that community college is for the people who fell behind in high school and aren't ready for university. That's in their head. So even if I wanted to do community college, they're like, no, you have to do university level. And yeah, I feel like that's how I was so lost. Yeah.
I feel like for me, honestly, I'm trying to think back. How did I even navigate everything? My dad kind of always implemented, like, if you don't know something, just ask. So I asked a lot of questions.
Yeah.
I had to go to like financial aid, ask them about like, hey, how do I fill out my FAFSA?
Yeah.
With like, I would ask other students, kind of just pushing myself out of my comfort zone. I feel like it was such a culture shock to enter college and not know anything, and you just like, they're like, just smile and wave, boys. Like from the Penguins from Madagascar was me.
Yeah.
That was like the whole mood for college.
Yeah.
Bonitos y gorditos, muchachos.
Is that Spanish?
I've never seen it in English. You know what? I lie. I did. I just saw it in English when I was like stuck at New York waiting for that. And I was like, is that David Schwimmer playing the giraffe?
Yeah.
And it got so thrown off. It's weird to hear the voices in English. But back to you, John.
But yeah, smile and wave. But yeah, just basically asking questions. My peers, I even went to go see like a counselor to kind of try to set me up and navigate my classes. But it was pretty much just, you get thrown in there and you're like, swim. Yeah. So I swam.
That's exactly how it feels.
You swam hard. When did you graduate?
I graduated in 2016. Yeah.
2019.
2020.
Don't look at me.
Soon.
TBD.
Hopefully December 2023. We'll see how that works.
Not hopefully. You will.
No, it depends on whether they actually open the classes like in the schedule that I can take them. The fun things about working and going to school at the same time.
Well, I think that's a perfect place to pause our first half. We're going to take a quick break. This episode is brought to you by Chismosa Cafe in Covina. I want to learn more about you guys. Like, who were you in college?
Who were you?
Did you do any extracurriculars? What kind of college girl were you? Were you a sorority girl? Were you an a cappella girl like me?
I feel like because I went to Cal State Fullerton, and I don't know if you guys can relate to this, but it's just deemed as a commuter school. So building a community on campus was a little bit difficult. I noticed within the first year, I would just go to class and then go home. But then I would see like other people that went to other universities, they're like really immersed in the college culture. So I was like, I want that. So I was like, okay, you're not gonna get that just going home and going back to school. So I joined a club. I tried different ones, but the one that I ended up enjoying the most was Hermanas Unidas. Shout out to Hermanas Unidas. It was a Latina organization that kind of focused on building your leadership skills and like honing in your community so that you guys can support each other throughout the process. We had to do like community service hours, health hours, and community hours. I forgot the other one. But yeah, we would do it as a group and go out into the neighborhood and volunteer. We also had to do like specific like scholarly hours. So we had to like study together, and that's how I was able to build somewhat of a network. And it was nice to see other people, other Latinas in college also navigating and being like first gen or second. So you don't feel so alone. So that was really nice. And then I also joined towards the end the Latino Communications. It was an initiative at the time. Now it's an institution, which is where I know some of you guys were part of it.
Is that LCI?
That is
LCI,
LCI. Yes. And that kind of, honestly, that was super helpful for me in college because, you know, your parents tell you, go to college. You're there, and then you realize you're about to graduate, and you're like, what now? And they're just like, I don't know. Like, you graduated, you got a bachelor's, like, good luck. And nobody talks about post-grad, which is another story for another episode. But,
But
I feel like they helped me, like, land really good opportunities. And because a lot of the people within the group were also getting really good opportunities, it motivated me to, like, strive to continue to do better within my major. What about y'all?
For me, well, I'll let you go first. Let's go in order of graduating.
Okay. Extracurriculars. Yeah, were we all commuters?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
I was a commuter too. And I would like spend most of my days like on campus just to like be on
to
campus.
make the commute worth
Yeah,
it.
like I'd get there at 7 a.m. to find parking and then like I'd stay to like my evening classes.
Yeah.
But I was for a few years, I was part of the a cappella group there called the Fuller Tones.
I didn't even know we had one.
Yeah, that was like shortly after Pitch Perfect. And so
I
like,
see.
They started when I was there. And made some really good friends there. It was a lot of fun. I got to perform.
Oh, is that where you met Isaiah?
That is where I met my friend Isaiah. And then another big part of my college life and friends was LCI, the Latino Communications Institute. At the time, it was run by this amazing woman director, Inez. And she was like a mentor to everyone who was LCI. So LCI, for those who don't know, it's the Latino Communications Institute. And it was basically just like a network of all the Latinos who wanted to participate in the communications, College of Communications. Yeah, and through there, I was able to meet like other Latinos that were doing these amazing internships, like you mentioned, and like inspired me for the first time to see like, oh, if they can do it, I can do it too. There's Latinos getting an internship at ABC, like that means I can do it too. And it was, a lot of it was thanks to Inez. Inez had some amazing contacts. She taught the class about mass media and ethnic groups that I took that changed my like the course of my career. And I told her like, hey, I want to work in entertainment. I'm thinking about being a writer. She got me my very first internship in entertainment in the writers' room of Hawaii 5-0 through the NHMC, the National Hispanic Media Coalition.
Well,
and
that's
like
fancy.
Yeah, and it was like amazing because like never did I think I would be in a like sitting amongst these writers like writing for television and seeing them like put together an episode. Like nobody there looked like me, but like I felt so special to like even be in there, and that was all thanks to Inez and seeing other people that were doing it too. So that changed my life for sure.
It's insane how like someone can interject and like change your career path. Because she came into an Hermanas Unidas meeting and talked about LCI, and that's why I joined. So like I wouldn't even be in communications had I not even done that. And it was like it had interested me, but I was like, I don't know. But then when she came in and she was so inspiring and joined the program, I was
Inez
like,
changes lives.
She be changing my shout out to Inez.
For me, because I was like a theater major first, and then I switched to CTVA the second semester of my first year, I was kind of in it blindly because I'm like, everyone went to an orientation. Like, I think I'm just doing it like how I think I'm supposed to be doing it. And then, I met people. I started talking to people because like, I don't know if you met people. I think you guys did talk about it, like the peers and like seeing how they're doing it and like their support is so like important. And then, so through my peers, I found out about Titan TV. I started like just showing up there. I started like helping with the cameras, and like I eventually got an internship there.
What is Titan TV?
So Titan TV, it's mostly with the journalist students. They do news. They started doing little things on Instagram when I was there. So it's just like the journalist students basically kind of like practicing and like doing it their own. And so I started being there, and I met like really great people there. And then because I was also a commuter, I felt like so disconnected from school, and it didn't help that I had to pay for my own tuition. So like I would go through my classes and then like get in my car and then go to work. Yeah. So like I really didn't feel like I was like in it, like the college experience. So that's what I kind of regret, like not being so in tune with college.
Did any of y'all party?
No.
I never got to party.
I did my party days before. Anyway, and then my last year, I was like, because I was so set on do it 4 years because I was underestimated. People were like, oh, you're going to finish when you're 25. And I'm like, well, you know what? I'm going to finish in 4 years. So I took so many classes. I was working. Yeah. And then my last year, I could have graduated early, but I'm like, no, I want to do a spring graduation. So I stayed there till spring 2020. Oh. You know where this is going.
Girl played.
So I'm like, I want to stay for spring 2020. And I was only taking like 4 classes, and they were all short, fun classes. And I was like, oh my God, I have time to join clubs. So I joined LCI. I met Inez, and she was like, you should join our Vibes Media. And I was like, oh. And then,
Inez? Oh my
God. Inez. So first of all, now that you're saying like, on Titan TV, we were staying there like after hours. We were like working on something. And I saw her from like this little like room where there's glass. And I was like, who is that? And then people were like, oh, that's Inez. And I was like, okay. So I looked into it, and then that's how I didn't even meet her face to face. I didn't even know about LCI, but I'm like, I heard through other people like, oh, that's what communication students do. And so like,
you went full stalking mode, found out who she was. And
that's wild. Inez told me to reach out to Cheryl.
Oh, she told me to reach out to Cheryl and Caroline.
Oh my God. Is the R Vibes origin story Inez?
I think it is. Because honestly, that's how we all met, the LCI.
Yeah, so I went to my first LCI meeting, and I met all these great people, and I'm like, I see myself here. And I started networking, and and then
the rest is history.
The rest is history. I don't know if we're going to get there yet.
So does that mean now I have to transfer to Cal State Fullerton and go to LCI?
Yeah, you know, the pressure's on.
She's gone.
I know.
Yeah.
We're going to have to connect you. Yeah, she was magic.
Yeah, she was magic.
Well, now I'm going to have to go to Cal State Fullerton.
She kind of just like lights a fire under your butt and be like, woof.
And then when you already have like a good opportunity, then you see her like months later and she's like, so what's next? And you're like, oh my God. So she like pushes you like no matter what. Yeah.
Now that, and also Cal State Fullerton has a really good animation program, and they have like some kind of internship, something with Nick, which I should probably looking into internships.
They have a really good communications program. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm not lying. It's not just because we went there.
I know. No, but I mean, like for the animation track, they have some work thingy, that whatever, the connection with Nickelodeon Studios. So.
Yeah. Cool. I hope we're giving you FOMO.
Do you do?
I know you are.
Any extracurriculars, clubs that you're a part of?
Not right now, because, like I said, I barely have a social life. I was part of the Mount Tech Art Club for a little bit, against my own will, but it kind of worked out.
You made friends with it, right?
And that's actually how I actually got into it because of a friend. Now, like me being the awkward, at least social person I am, one of our gesture drawing classes with Ron Brown, a super amazing professor. And one of my classmates was another Latino guy who was like, he was always freaking late. So Luis, if you're looking at it, start getting to stuff early because he always pisses me off about it. But he was like, said to me, like, hey, we started talking, and he was president of the art club at the time. He's like, no, you need to come at least once. And then he kind of got me hooked on it. And I was like, okay, fine, I guess I'm coming.
Yeah.
Because I'm working, like I'm working myself through school, so I don't really have that much time off. And it just so happened to be that one day I had a day off, and he's like, what are you doing tomorrow? And I'm like, I have like a day off, I'm gonna sleep. He's like, no, you're coming. I have an extra ticket to a Sony Animation lecture panel on Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. You're coming with me. And I was like, okay. That's cool. And he dragged me in.
Mm-hmm. Made friends.
Yeah.
Aww. Well, it sounds like college brought us all together.
Yeah.
So would you say college is worth it?
You know, that's such a controversial question. I personally don't think it's necessary. I think me, because I was a first gen and I'm speaking on my experience, I feel like I needed it because I didn't really have anybody else that, or any other paths that I could look up to, or like didn't know or had the education that I could do something else. Mm-hmm. But I feel like right now, I feel like Gen Z has so many opportunities. There's so much like videos out there of people teaching you how to do specific things. I think as long as you have a path of what you want to do or some sort of idea, you don't really need to go. You can just kind of look at, we built our vibes, and I don't think, I mean, obviously we would have needed to know the background of everything, but I feel like we could have done it without that.
It would have probably taken us longer, but
Yeah, it would have taken us way longer.
100%.
I don't know.
What do y'all think?
I feel like it is because like the foundation that I needed to build our vibes, like to learn the basics of marketing, and like on most job applications, it's like required to have a bachelor's. Yeah. But like the classes themselves, I feel like they're like the very bottom of, yes, it did help me, but what helped me the most was the people that I met and the access to groups like LCI and to professors that know people in the industry like Inez. Like I owe my entire career and where I am right now because of that. So for me, yes, college was worth it.
Yeah. College was worth it. That's a very heavy question. I feel like it is, just because like I would have known how to do any of it if it weren't for college, and just like it opens so many doors that aren't fully open, but I know like I can open them because I went to college. Yeah.
I'm like, I think it is. I mean, obviously, I'm still haven't graduated, so once I actually graduate, I will probably give an updated answer. I generally like learning. I feel like other than just the networking part, which I haven't really done much of, our vibes is my networking. But for me, it's more of a, like the structure, because I'm a planner. I'm like okay, I need to do this. This are the stops. This is like, it gives you the structure so you can kind of figure things out. And like Jennifer was saying, we could probably have done like the revives and all this other stuff, but it would have taken us longer. Having the structure from, like knowing how to put a project together and all this other stuff that we have all learned through college kind of helps us put things together. I do think it's definitely overpriced. Like it's.
Oh yeah.
Girl, I haven't even graduated yet, and I'm already dreading those. But,
with editing videos, like, because I went to college, I know how to do it so fast. And I feel like if I didn't go to college and I didn't take those classes, I would not have known. Yeah.
It sounds like, I'm curious if we weren't like first gen or second, how we would answer that question, because we'd have more tools and education on stuff. Yeah. And probably like, I don't know, maybe more even financial means to be able to go do projects that we're passionate about. Yeah. But I do think that a lot of us had a common thread that I feel like college is worth it because of the people that you network with, that you meet, that brought us to all of these paths. Had we not been in college, we wouldn't have gotten them, because we wouldn't have had a set plan of what we wanted to do. So I don't think we had the privilege to be able to like have that, because we don't know. But yeah.
Or maybe even like what you mentioned with like the whole thing in first gen, because I'm like, yes, my parents went to college, but the process works over there completely different than here. And it's just been to figure it out as you go. But the financial means, like Vanessa and I, like putting ourselves through college, it's like, maybe if we hadn't had to work through school, we would have had better opportunities of networking and meeting more people, and actually spend more time like to build a community, to build a network, rather than not just worry about, oh my God, I need to pay this and I have to still run to work, and you're just constantly burnt out.
Yeah. Because I sometimes didn't even feel like I was there. Like I was there, but I wasn't there.
Yeah.
It's an expensive opportunity ticket. We'll say that.
Yeah. It's a good investment in yourself, I think, too. Yeah.
I agree. I enjoyed college.
I definitely matured a lot.
Yes.
I went, a lot of people don't talk about the hard parts of college. Like, depression is hard in college. A lot of pressure of like, you gotta get good grades. You gotta go ahead. You got to graduate within a certain time frame. It's a lot of pressure. But like looking back on it, I'm thankful for it.
Yeah.
I don't look at me on the time frame.
TBD. We'll come back.
We'll come back on that one.
No pressure.
Yeah.
That's what college is.
That's college. I think that's a good place to wrap up.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for watching the second episode of the Our Vibes podcast.
Thank you for supporting.
Make sure to like and follow, subscribe,
share.
Stay in school.
Go to
college.
Or don't. You know what? Write your own story.
Whatever you do, be responsible about it and commit to it.
Yeah. Okay. Vibe. It's a vibe. And make sure to follow us on TikTok and Instagram at Our Vibes Media. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, thank you.
for watching.
Till the next one.